Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your family's feast. Add it to steak, chicken, shrimp, you name it. Serving up these fixings is going to make you the hero at home. So head on over to CloysSouthernEats.com and order yours today. Come get you some.
And everybody, welcome to the Sunday, December 10th edition of the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison. Man, Otis, how you doing today?
Doing good. Doing great, man, after last night.
I was going to say, yeah, your Lakers really kind of put a cherry on the top of the Christmas season with a big win over Indianapolis, or the Indiana Pacers last night in Las Vegas.
7-0 in the first tournament ever, the first in-season tournament ever. 7-0, man. I loved it.
I was going to say, AD, he kind of had a performance for the ages last night too.
Ooh, man, when he's motivated and really on his game, you can't stop him because he's big, he's athletic, he's great, man. I mean, I love the guy. So he played his butt off last night. They all did, man. It was great. Kim Reddish, D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Braun, of course, AD, Vando, all those guys.
Yeah, I was waiting for Tyrese Halliburton to kind of take that game over last night. It just seemed the defense Darvin Ham put out on him last night, the defensive scheme, it just really shut him down.
Yeah, they've got guys like Vanderbilt, Cam Reddish, Max Christie that they can run at Halliburton, and that's why Ham has had that. And I've been critical of him at times for things, but that game plan he had last night was awesome, man. I mean, he had Halliburton wasn't going to beat him. He's a great player, man. Nope. He's still 20 points. I mean, he's a great player. I like the Pacers. I really do. I mean, they're not one of the teams I hate. I actually like the Pacers. Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, Bruce Brown. Of course, obviously, Halliburton. But I like them. I've always liked some of the players the Pacers have.
And Halliburton has been averaging almost 28 points a game in this tournament. And for them, I mean, he was at 20, like you said, but him below his average, and then the distribution part of it too. They just took it out of the game. And
they forced him into some turnovers last night that he hadn't been having. The other night he had 15 assists and no turnovers. Lakers, I tell you what, I told a guy this morning, he was griping about Arkansas' defense in basketball. I said, if you want to see a good defensive team, watch the Lakers play. Man, they're really good on defense. Ham's really good. I like him. I get frustrated at times with his rotation. Still don't know why Jackson Hayes is playing over Christian Wood, but the guy's a good coach. I'm proud he's with the Lakers. I just put out a proposed trade. Gabe Vincent goes to the Bucks. Bobby Portis to the Lakers, man.
And that would be the trifecta right there.
Seriously, the Bucks need a defensive point guard, a guy like that, because Damian Lillard and Malik Beasley can't stop anybody. And now Dame time obviously can light you up, but those two can't. They've got to get a better guard to go with Dame back there, a better defensive guard. And Gabe Vincent would do it, and then put Bobby with the Lakers. He got into it with the coach the other night, and then Ham was assistant there, and he had a good relationship with Bobby Portis. So that would be a good trade. I think.
Pardon, what was that?
I think it'd be a good trade for both teams, not just the Lakers. But I mean, I think it would probably help the Bucks more than it would the Lakers. But I'd like to see Portis on the Lakers. I know he was a Lakers fan at one time.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. That's one of the things with Damian Lillard. I mean, he can go out and score 50, but he's also probably with his defense is going to give up 60 when it's all said and done. Yeah,
Dame's a great player, but he's just not. But you can live with him because he can light it up. But you've got to have somebody besides Malik Beasley cannot be your defensive stopper at guard. He couldn't even get off the bench for the Lakers in the playoffs, and that's not the answer. Seriously, I think Vincent started for the Miami Heat in the playoffs last year at point guard. I think he would help the Bucks, and I would get Portis in a situation where he's probably more comfortable. And I'd like to see that trade. I probably will never happen, but I wouldn't mind seeing it anyway. But anyway, the Hogs, they got a commitment today, and probably may get another one, man.
Yeah, I heard that there's some possibly some good news on the horizon. So I'm kind of interested and very excited to hear exactly what's going to happen. Great tight end from Eastern Michigan coming in. Can you tell us a little bit more about him?
6'6", 255, from Denmark, no Shelter Froholt. He's a guy that he's more of a receiving threat than Sherman or Bax was last year. He can block like them, or probably better maybe, but he's more of a receiving threat too. And not that he's going to catch – he's not going to mind you of Luke or Tyrus Washington, but he's got a chance to really make some good plays. I think that what you'll see from him is he'll help Arkansas, and I think you'll see them do pretty good there. I think he can really help Arkansas, and I think he will. And I think being from Denmark and everything, I think he's got a bright – I think his upside is really there, Jason. I think his best football may be ahead of him. He liked the challenge in the SEC too. He loved the challenge of playing against the best. See where he's at.
I'm going to tell you, I'd love to pick Morgan Turner's brain just a little bit to kind of gauge the excitement level that he's got, knowing that you've got such a green, raw tight end that he basically can kind of form into something that could be super special, later on.
Yeah, and that's what I think he will. I think they like the upside of that kid. They've got obviously a good tight end room, but we'll see how all this shakes out at the end of the day. You saw last year where Luke goes down in the A&M game, then Ty Washington goes down, so you lose your two best tight ends right there. So still waiting to see what Varkey Scums can do, on the field a little bit more. So they've got some talent there. Of course, Luke is. I really believe Luke will win the Mackey Award after his junior year.
Oh, yeah. I've talked to multiple people about that, and they are all on the same track with you on that he will be a Mackey Award winner by the time it's said and done. If it's not, there'd be something savage.
It'll be injuries will be the only thing that keeps him from it, in my opinion. It's just the injuries, because if he plays, he's gonna produce, man. And then it would just be injuries or just completely get screwed in the voting like McFadden did for the Heisman. I voted for him twice, and he never won it a single time. He should have won it. He should have won it for sure one year.
Yeah, he should have had that over Brax. Was it the Troy? I think it was the I cannot remember the.
I don't remember who won it, but I know I voted for Darren twice. And he obviously didn't. One time Tebow won it. I'm not sure who won the other one. I know Tebow, if I'm not mistaken, won one of them.
Yeah, Tebow won the second one, and the quarterback from Ohio State, Troy, I think is what I forgot his last name off the top of my head. Anyway, nonetheless, Darren should have won it the first year. Last night ESPN had it on with the Heisman show, and I want to say that I feel like personally the wrong person won it. I felt like it should have been Michael Penix Jr., but nonetheless, Jaden Daniels won it last night. And don't get me wrong, I think he's deserving. I just don't think that the right guy won it. Yeah. So, but I it's nice to see that it was kept in the SEC.
Yeah. I didn't watch the show. I was watching the Lakers, but yeah, he's Penix is a real deal. I saw him when he was even at Indiana. I remember him there, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm feeling good about. I'm getting a good vibe about next year's football team. For some reason, I like the things that I'm seeing and hearing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the. Next year in football. I believe the Hogs are taking some positive steps. I like the two coaching hires. Somehow I'm getting a good vibe about next year's football team. And of course, I had a good vibe about the game yesterday with the Razorbacks, and we saw how that turned out. Yeah, my gut let me down. My big gut let me down on that one. We got lost somewhere in the food, I guess, but I don't know. But do I like the Hogs basketball like I do the Lakers? I don't like anything like I do the Lakers. I mean, to be honest with you, my job is to cover the Razorbacks. It's not to be a fan. Whereas Lakers, I can be a fan, man. I don't have to worry about it. I can be a fan, but the Razorbacks, that's my job to cover them. But I love Musselman. I think he's a good coach. I know people you say that after they lose and he sucks. Musselman doesn't suck. He's a good coach. I think he's a very good coach. But
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, but yeah,
This
I was surprised they got beat like they. And I'll be honest with you, I was at Prospect Day, so I didn't get to see a lot of it, Jason. I mean, I didn't get to see
neither
watch
did I.
the whole game. I missed a lot of it, and I was at Prospect Day, and then when I got finished there, I was transcribing Cody Taylor and then writing a story. So I didn't get to see as much of it as I would have liked. So, but I was surprised they got beat like they did. I really thought they would beat OU. I put a little bit. I guess I put too much into the fact that I didn't think OU had played a very tough schedule, but they're better than I thought they were. What I saw, OU's better than I thought they were.
Yeah, Porter Mosier's got a squad over there in Norman, and I mean, it's just going to keep getting better for them too. Because I mean, with them coming into the SEC, they can. I mean, you would think that their recruiting would be able to step up a little bit, but I didn't get to see much of the game yesterday too because I was actually hanging out with Limbo Parks. Got to sit up with him. We're watching Greg Thomas and his team from East Plano take on the Fayetteville Bulldogs in the Hooping on the Hill Classic.
Yeah.
And man, I'm gonna tell you what.
Where was that at?
As at Fayetteville and East Plano.
Greg invited me to that. But I didn't. I was tied up with Junior Day and Prospect Day, whatever you want to call it. So I was tied up with football, man. But
Yeah, East Plano ended up smashing Fayetteville 70-38 in the championship game yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's Greg's team.
Yeah,
God.
Mostly seniors.
That's like he did that time I played against him and Allie Freeman and some of those guys. That's about the same thing. They killed me, man. They killed our team. I mean, we had a benefit basketball game back in my old hometown, Mena. And we played Greg, Allie Freeman, Stephen Moore. I want to say Andrew Lang, maybe not. But Greg was on the team. Greg Thomas was on the team. It's mostly basketball, but we played basketball. But Greg was on the team. But yeah, they smashed us, man. But
we were. Yeah, I got my sound producer over here as well. I got Max on the bed here. He's just kind of laying there. It sounds like. I'm gonna tell you what. I saw that Bulldog bumper sticker yesterday, and I had to send that to you because I thought, you know what, man, that just fits perfect.
That was awesome, man. Yeah, he's checking out. So there's something about the New York Jets and whoever they're playing, the Houston Texans, he doesn't like. I don't know if he saw a dog on there or he saw something. He's not happy with it. Maybe the game's not going like he wanted, but he's not happy about it. He's watching him.
That bumper sticker, everybody, that I'd found yesterday it says, "My Bulldog's not a lover, or is a lover, not a bully." So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. He just bullies TV animals. He doesn't like them, man. He's trying to save the world from TV animals.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Rocket Sanders. He announced that he's entering the transfer portal last week. Some folks, like Tony Brown, think he might be Gamecock bound, but I don't know. I talked with Dudley last week on this, and we seem to think he might be heading back to the Sunshine State.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going, but I know that, yes, to answer your question, they are recruiting some running backs. They've offered a couple. It's in my they've offered a couple of running backs. One of them from Little Rock Central. But I have on Hogville, go to Kirk's Corner and look at the list. It's got the junior college and the portal kids that they've offered. You can go to that Kirk's Corner. It's got, people talk about, I wish you did more recruiting. I said, go to the Kirk's Corner. It's full of recruiting. That's all it is. So go to Jaquez Moore from Duke is one running back that they've offered. And then Sam Franklin is the kid from UT Martin, I believe. I believe he's from UT Martin. Sam Franklin, but he's played at Little Rock Central in high school. But those are two running backs they've offered, the guy at Duke and the guy from Little Rock Central that played at UT Martin. I think that's one running back in the portal if they can get him. I think two, they may lose Jaden Bogg. We'll see. The running back from Georgia, they may lose him. Alabama and Florida's trying to get him. But Braylon Russell is that's the one they need to get into school. And I'm sure they will. I haven't heard anything to make me think that Braylon won't stay with Arkansas. I look for him to be here, and that's a good pick. That was a great pickup with Braylon Russell.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. Folks can go over to hogville.net and look at the list. You have it listed by position on who the Razorbacks have offered that are in the transfer portal. So make sure to go over there and take a look at that, and that will give you an A to Z roadmap on who this staff is trying to target right now.
And there's stories about all three of the official visitors this weekend too. They're over there. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of recruiting there. If you're into recruiting, bookmark that Kirk's Corner, because if you're into football, if you're into basketball, go to Kevin's page. You're in baseball, go to Dudley's. But we've got the recruiting scene covered, and but Kirk's Corner is where the football recruiting. Yeah, I've got that by position and for JUCO and portal, but then I've also got down there where like a page from where the old school, like the kid from UT Martin, his page from the school, it's in another post. I've got two posts going on that stuff. One has just the names of each position, and the other one has more information, like from what he's done at his school. So it's complete. Like I said, when they visit, I'll have stories on there, like I did the tight end and like I did the quarterback. Yep. So I've got stories with quotes. I've got a story I'm waiting to put up on the quarterback if he goes public with his commitment. So we'll see what happens there, Taylor Green. But I've got a story written and it's ready to go. All I need him to do is just commit, and I will send it while we're talking.
It's
written.
Yeah,
written.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it seems like between you, myself, Dudley, Alyssa, a couple others, we've been pretty much on high alert on social media the last, I would say, week and a half now, that as things start to filter out, we just
thank God I don't have the flu now, man. That sucked doing this job with the flu. I mean, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I got that. I woke up that Monday morning. I felt like I'd been hit by a freight train, but what has happened? And I knew I had the flu, but it was just the flu. It wasn't COVID, just the flu. I went to the doctor on Wednesday and got tested, and it was flu. But that was Wednesday before last, not this past Wednesday. The Wednesday, that first week, I was sick, and it sucked working this beat when you don't feel well. Now Dudley and Alyssa and Courtney and all of them jumped in and helped, but I mean, I still had to do stuff. But I know Dudley's got the basketball game going right now. Girls basketball. That's a little bit closer game than I thought it'd be. UAPB is giving them a
56-47 Arkansas, 3:52 left in the third quarter. Talia Scott's got 28 of Arkansas's 56 points, according to Dudley. And I'm going to tell you what, she is a phenomenal freshman.
I need to go see her play just to see her. I mean, just see her play, because she's obviously the real deal. I know Dudley's higher on her. Well, I mean, I think her stats and her deal pretty much speaks for itself, I mean, her game.
Yeah, because one of the things that I noticed too is that, it doesn't matter what type of game plan's been thrown at her so far. She's been able to bust it up and basically have her way with defense.
Dudley's got a good eye for basketball talent. If he says she can play, I take his word for it. But boy, her play backs up that too. I mean, she's just tearing it up. So, you don't see girls like that, freshmen, score like she is, man. That's unusual.
Yeah, that's quick. Tony Brown's asking. So we don't know exactly where AJ Green is going to land. We think that he might go somewhere southeast, somewhere closer to home. KJ, on the other hand, I feel like he's kind of weighing his options at this point. I don't know exactly what time frame he is going to make a decision, but I would think that would be sooner than later, because I mean, he has to be enrolled in the school if he wants to go through off-season workouts with his new school, albeit I don't think it's going to be Arkansas, but wherever else he happens to go to.
Yeah, I think KJ, I don't know this, but I'm just wondering if he's weighing NIL offers, seeing what he can get NIL, who gives him what before he makes a decision. So I don't know that, but that's my thought on that. That's why no announcement's been made. But I haven't really ever thought once the season turns south about maybe Mississippi, not necessarily Mississippi State, but once the Auburn game and Missouri, I've never got the feeling he was coming back after that. Maybe Mississippi State, but particularly those last two games. I've just had a feeling he probably wasn't coming back next year.
Yep. So the Arkansas State High School football championships finally wrapped up at War Memorial Stadium this weekend. You had Boonville edged out Prescott 25-27 in a hell of a game. And then you had Harding.
I watched the first half of that, and Boonville was up like 18-7 or something.
Yep. It was a 3-point game at the very end. Yeah.
I didn't know who won. I saw the first half. I had to go to Prospect Day, so I missed it after that.
Mm-hmm. And then you had Harding. Oh, go ahead. You good?
No, I said I had to go to Prospect Day, so I didn't get to see it after that. I had not seen the score. That's crazy, yeah.
And then you had Harding Academy, which pretty much had their way with Rivercrest 55-17. And I'll be honest with you, that Harding Academy team, they're one of the top ones in the state. It doesn't matter which classification. Kind of like Little Rock Parkview, for instance.
Yeah, White Simmons is committed to Arkansas, the linebacker at Harding Academy. He's committed to Arkansas, so that was a good pickup for them. Justin Logan was here this weekend, the kid from Georgia. I love him, man. He's put on some weight. He looks good, Jason. I saw him at the picnic when they had the picnic back in July, and I saw Justin Logan. But I saw him today, and he's 214. He's up to 220, but it's muscle, man. I mean, he looks bigger. I believe both those kids, he and White Simmons both are going to help them pretty quick. I think they may be some plug and play guys. I'm not saying they'll start, but I think they can play some as a true freshman. I really do, both of them.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, that linebacker room is going to need some bodies anyway, albeit on kickoff, albeit third quarter, sort of thing where you're needing a linebacker to go in for a couple of plays to spell the first or second string that's in there, maybe. Kid that may be able to step up from third to second string, kind of like a freshman. And so that's where honestly it's going to count for having those bodies on campus that can make a difference, because if they don't, that's where Sam's going to have some problems with depth at that point.
Yeah, Arkansas's offered Sam Brumfield too, a linebacker, so we'll see how that goes. But I think he'll take a visit sometime this week or during the weekend, next weekend. Ethan Miner will be here next weekend, the offensive lineman from North Texas, if he doesn't commit somewhere before then.
Yeah, and what I'm really kind of glad that Sam's able to have juniors that come in after some of these high school championship games have kind of taken the course when they've gotten them over with, because now these kids don't have a game sitting on their minds. Oh, I got this coming up. They can just sit here and concentrate on what's going on here. And also the coaches have, I feel like, their full attention. They have their attention whenever they come in for their OVs or for their unofficials. But after the season, I feel like you get a kid's attention more just because, the season's out of the way now.
Yeah. You got kids come in, they may have played and got in late in the game, and then they're tired on their visit. So, this is a different deal now, like you said. And I know Cody had a very good visit yesterday, and, we'll see how that goes. But he's still waiting on an offer. But I hope Arkansas offers him. I think it'd be a shame if they didn't. I think they will eventually, but we'll see. I mean, I think it'd be a shame if they didn't.
Yeah, I do too. But do you see possibly, have you heard anything as far as like portal news that might surprise some fans? Because I mean, like earlier, whenever I had sent you that message, it looks like let me pull that back up here real quick. Jaden Johnson said he's going to run it back, so it looks like you got Jaden Johnson coming back.
Yeah,
and Snacks Johnson, for instance, that's what we on, and then he reposted that. So that tells me that he's back on board, and possibly. And then also Tykees Crawford. It just seems like you get little clumps of players that one makes a decision, and then each one of them start to repost and put their own little piece of information out, kind of leading you to believe, hey, I'm coming back too.
Yeah, some people thought there'd be a mass exit of players like last year. but doesn't seem to be. Sure as I say that, there'll be 10 hit the portal tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I believe it's. And Sam had said he didn't expect it to be like last year. And
I think that's where this.
Honestly, they could probably use about 4 or 5 more hit the portal if it's the right ones. Yeah. I mean, to get the numbers. When I say that, people don't understand why I'm saying that. I'm saying that if you've got 4 or 5 players here that's been here 3 years and not playing, then they could move on, find them somewhere to play, and you can fill that with a scholarship player who might play immediately and could help you. So I mean, you need numbers. They need some offensive linemen. They need some linebackers, as you said. They got the tight end out of the portal. They need probably need a running back, to be honest with you. Quarterback. I think they'll have a quarterback here at some point. If not today, then soon. I don't know about receiver. I guess they will, but it doesn't seem to be a high priority. But linemen on both sides. Chris McClellan's a name to remember on defense, Jason. Played in Florida. Went to Florida, and that was a kid that I had a pretty good relationship with, talked to him quite a bit. And I'm telling you, that kid can play. He was a 4-star also. And I think Arkansas may get him. I really do. Now, he may have committed. I mean, I felt good about the other day, when I was touching base with him, but this stuff changes. And to be honest with you, I've been busy. I was out chasing recruits at 6:30 this morning. So I went to bed at 1:30 and got up at 6 and was out of the house after a shower at 6:30 this morning. So I haven't had much sleep and I've been out working. So I haven't checked around to see who's committed elsewhere. So if I'm giving outdated information on here, I'm sorry. I just haven't had time to do all that because I've been covering, and I did the Pig Trail Nation show, and now I'm doing this one. And so I'm not sure, but I felt good about McClellan the other day when I touched base with him. Like I said, I knew him in high school, really good kid, played at one of the Tulsa schools, transferred over to Wasso, but he could help Arkansas immediately on that defensive line.
Yeah, I think that would be a really great pickup for them. And I think one of the rooms that has went a little unnoticed, you got Dwight McLaughlin. He's going to be in the East-West All-Star game.
Yeah,
East-West Shrine game. And then you've also you're losing Malik Chavis. He's under the transfer portal as well. And I think that just for a sheer number standpoint, I think you could probably pick up a couple of cornerbacks out of the portal.
Yeah,
you can.
And Cedric Beavers was here this weekend, and he's committed to Ole Miss. He's from Jones College in Mississippi. He's been committed to Ole Miss since August the 1st. He was difficult to read, Jason. I couldn't get a read on the kid. He told me he could make a final decision as early as today. He's been committed to Ole Miss for a while. He's from Mississippi, but he took this Arkansas visit for a reason. And, really enjoyed Topgolf. I'll tell you a funny story on the quarterback, Taylor Green. I'll tell you a really funny story on him, man. They took him to a fancy restaurant, Ruth's Chris, and he said he was a COVID baby. He said when he came out in 2020, he couldn't take official visits because it wasn't legal, with COVID.
Yeah.
So he said this was actually, believe it or not, this was his first official visit. And he said, man, you can't get that kind of food and stuff on Zoom, And so he liked this visit. He said, you can't get that on
Zoom. That's funny.
So, it didn't dawn. This was his first official visit ever, even though he went to college out of Louisville, Texas to Boise. But he didn't get to take any official visits. And so this was his first official visit. A little bit better than Zoom, he said. I thought that it was funny. He told it funnier than I do, but he was cool. He's a cool kid. Really is. He's a good dude. He and I love Logan. He's a nice kid. He just got so much bigger. It's only 6 pounds, but he just looked different. I mean, not that he looked bad in July, but I noticed. I saw him today. And I said, "Man, you've put on some." Well, I thought he put on more than 6 pounds, but he said, "No, he weighed in at 220 over at U of A yesterday or today. Well, it wouldn't be today. Probably been yesterday or Friday. He weighed in at 220. So, but it's muscle.
Sounds like he's getting his diet right too, because whenever you start to make that transformation, even at 6 pounds, that whenever you start to chisel off the baby fat and you start to put on good weight like that, that's whenever you do see that market difference.
Yeah, he probably put on about 10 or 15 pounds of muscle because like you said, he took off some weight and then redistributed with muscle, and it's 220 pounds of good weight now. That kid, like I said, I would not be shocked if he played next year. And I'm not talking about just special teams. I mean, maybe be like Brad Spence. It might just be spot duty at linebacker, but I can see him playing. Logan had 43 tackles, 18 solos, 2 for loss, sack, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 forced fumbles. So he was pretty active this year.
Yeah.
Now, Marietta Cale High School in Marietta, Georgia. I think, Jason, he's a 4-star with one of the services. It may be Rivals or it may be ESPN, but I'm pretty sure he's a 4-star with one of the services. I think he's an 89 with like a 24/7 composite. I think he's an 89, which is 1 point below a 4-star.
Nice. I mean, at that point, I mean, you're splitting hairs between a 3 and a 4-star, and honestly, what it comes down to as well is what you got in here. Whenever that's a huge difference. But
well, I mean, you can play or you can't. I mean, Jamal Anderson was a 2-star, and when he committed, people raised hell top of their lungs, man. That kid went to the NFL draft in the first round. So, I mean, Jamal Anderson. We laughed about that this summer. He came up here to camp, brought his son, and Jamal and I had a good laugh about when he committed. Man, he called. They jumped me. They jumped him. I mean, I told Deke. I said, if you ever get a kid committed and somebody writes about it, remind them of Jamal Anderson because he was a 2-star and people raised hell. And then 3 years later, they're begging him to stay at Arkansas for another season, not go there. They didn't want him, and then they didn't want him to leave. That's why fans put more emphasis on those stars than I do. I've worked for every one of those services except ESPN, so I know how they come about those rankings, and I'm not a big star guy, but I think they matter. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're there for a purpose, and if you think it's the absolute gospel, Bible, factual, I think you're setting yourself up wrong. There is some value to it. There is value to it. I'm not sitting there saying there's not. There is value to it, but you got to be careful because you don't want to just judge a kid simply on stars and nothing else because that can be misleading.
I was going to say because I think Texas, Notre Dame, and a couple of others have had complete bust recruiting classes just simply on that fact alone.
Oh yeah, Texas through the years. Now they're good now, but they've had some years. Texas, Notre Dame. I mean, some of those schools like that. I mean, hell, Florida's had a lot of 4-star. Tennessee gets a lot of them, and then they don't turn out. So I don't put as much stock in that. I repeat them if I see the stars because I know fans like that. But don't just judge a kid. You can't. There's so many variables in recruiting. You can't really just judge a kid on one thing, be it stars, offers, or whatever. There's the variables on each kid, and you don't know how much exposure he got. So there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to recruiting.
Yep. Well, quick, just before we get out of here, Arkansas has a 2-point lead on UAPB with 7:48 left in the fourth quarter. Wow. That's a real close game. So if you guys are able to jump over to the SEC Network Plus and watch that, I would venture you to go ahead and go out there. Talia Scott's got 31 points, and then Michaela Daniels has followed that up with 13, and then Sailor Poffenbarger has got 10. So, and she's actually one off of a double-double with 9 rebounds right now. So I figured I'm going to guess that she probably gets that.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I think they got some pretty balanced scoring from what I can see here. So I'm on live stats right now. But make sure to jump over there, and if you're able to watch that, go ahead and jump over and take. Oh, and then let's see here. UAPB's got a lady, last name's Green. She's got 21 points, so I think she's kind of single-handedly keeping UAPB in this one. So
wow, sounds like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all take care. We will see you all next Sunday at 3 o'clock for the Arkansas Razorback Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Patterson, and y'all take care.
Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Cloy's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your family's feast. Add it to steak, chicken, shrimp, you name it. Serving up these fixings is going to make you the hero at home. So head on over to CloysSouthernEats.com and order yours today. Come get you some.